Molly of Molly Kate Wellness here. So happy you found your way to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Molly and I'm an intuitive eating and body image coach. I help women stop hating their bodies so that they can live their bold and confident life. And today I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm going to tell you a story about when I was so obsessed with being healthy that it became unhealthy. Right? And so maybe you're in this place now too, where you're starting to notice that all you are thinking about is food and exercise. Your mental dashboard, as I like to call it, is literally overloaded with thoughts about how many calories are in this, what kind of fat's in this, what are the ingredients here, is this grain-free, is this paleo, did I exercise enough to burn off those calories, am I gonna have time to work out today, oh my gosh, I can't believe I binged on that, right? Our mental dashboard is on overload, right? And that was me for so long. So I'm going to talk about a few key things to notice if your quest for health has started to become unhealthy. Okay, so number one is that you're noticing that there's no flexibility in the foods that you're allowing yourself to eat. Right? You're saying these are the rules I have to follow, and anytime there's even the opportunity or the potential that you're going to go outside of those rules, anxiety ensues, right? You are so anxious and nervous about potentially going off of that plan. And it's probably because you're going to think that you're going to completely fall off track or you're going to lose all of your progress, right? That lack of flexibility is no longer healthy, right? Intuitive eating allows us to find a natural and intuitive balance around food that's going to really support your body and your life. So notice, is there no flexibility allowed, right? The other thing I want you to tune into is where's the pleasure around food? Are you finding pleasure in eating? Are you allowing yourself pleasure not only in food, but in your life? There is this dialogue that really paints pleasure to be the worst thing in the world. It means that you're gonna fall off track. It means that you're a bad person. It means that you're gluttonous, right? And so when we start to remove the pleasure around food, which is an aspect of food I believe that was really intended. Food was meant to also be pleasurable to us, not just nourish and sustain us, but also nourish us in a way that it allows us to experience pleasure. Our bodies were created in a way where we are created to experience pleasure, right? So are you withholding that from your body? When we remove pleasure from our lives, our body starts to disconnect because that's a part that it loves, right? And if we're withholding that from our bodies, it can start shifting into an unhealthy place. Another thing to notice is, are you turning down social events for fear of pleasurable things happening at that event, right? Maybe there's gonna be a big cheese plate or there's gonna be a bowl of Doritos and you're not gonna be able to control yourself. Or there's gonna be sugary drinks and you can't eat anything there. So are you turning down social events and gatherings and dinner with girlfriends and cocktails and happy hours? Are you preventing you from being social simply because of your fears around food? If that's happening, check in, right? We already talked about the mental dashboard. Is your mental dashboard full of thoughts about food and your body? Another thing to notice is, are you attaching morality to food? This food is good, this food is bad, right? There is no morality to food. You can notice, okay, this food is more energy dense and this food is more nutrient dense, and notice how it impacts your body. But I can also guarantee you that you've also had ingrained in us that these foods that are mostly energy dense are gonna make you feel like crap all of the time. And I'm not saying that sometimes they won't, but I want you to notice. I want you to decide, how do you feel, right? When you're eating different types of food. Take away that morality and notice how it actually feels in your body without the stories that society, diet culture has put out there, right? Are you falling into a shame cycle? Are you constantly criticizing yourself? Not only around food and body, but are you starting to notice that it's kind of seeping into other areas of your life, like relationship and career? But when it comes to body, one thing that I see a lot is standing in front of the mirror and picking apart every single flaw that you notice, right? Are you noticing yourself doing that often? You look in the mirror and you're going straight for the cellulite on your legs, or the roll on your back, or the roll on your stomach, or the extra flesh you believe is extra, right? I don't think it's extra, it's there for a reason, right? Anything that you believe is outside of acceptable, now you're nitpicking and you're just focusing on these flaws, which I don't think they're flaws, right? They're just our bodies. And if you've been here on this channel, you've heard me say our bodies are simply a vessel for us to share our gifts with the world, right? And lastly, I want to encourage you, and I might do a whole other video on this, I want to encourage you to expand your vision of health. So often, and I know this was me, so maybe you relate to this, and I'll put a little diagram here. We believe that it's just diet and exercise, and that's health, right? We believe there's this like pie chart and it's just diet and exercise. But really, health is so much more multifactorial than that. It's our relationships, it's our ability to play, it's our ability to process emotions. So now I'm gonna put up a different pie chart. This is more of what it looks like, and everyone's is gonna look a little bit different, right? You can see that the food we consume and the way that we move our bodies is still on there, but it's a lot smaller, right? It's not everything. And you're gonna go through different seasons of life where you're figuring out what is the most important aspect right now for me. And I know that I was so obsessed with just the diet and exercise. That was all I cared about. That's what I thought health was. And when I could perfect the shape of my body, that I was gonna be healthy. And guess what? I got to a place where I was pretty darn close to what my ideal in my head was, and I was not healthy. I was nowhere near that holistic view of health that feels so true to me now. So these are just some things to notice, and I'll put them here in the video again for you to review. Are these things that you're noticing? Is your obsession with being healthy starting to become unhealthy? And if it is, that's okay. If that's where you're at, know that I was there too, and this is not another reason to shame ourselves. It's something to notice and say, all right, is this still working for me? Is this working for me in my life? Because I'm a firm believer that everything that we do is somehow protecting us. So this framework was protecting you from something. What was it protecting you from? And is it serving you anymore? Probably not. If you're here watching this video, probably not serving you anymore. So just get curious. Notice where you're at. Do not shame yourself for where you're at. Just accept it and notice it and say, all right, is this working for me? And what's one small step that I can take towards a new framework that is going to work for me? So I hope this was helpful for you today. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button wherever it is. I'm not totally sure. Maybe down here, I don't know. Click the subscribe button so that you can get information directly to your inbox right away as soon as I post videos. And yeah, let me know below if this really resonated with you. So have a great day. Talk to you soon.